Columbus Explorers and the Detroit Lions. One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? They'll try and start this drive in the air. Steps away to his left. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is going to be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. He'll look to throw. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain there of 30 big ones.
And in the run-up to this championship game, so much was made about how would this offense hold up on the road in a hostile environment. Well, that's not the definitive answer, but what a great first answer from them, that big play right there.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season, and that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So, Charles, this a defense that hasn't made a lot of mistakes like this on the road to this playoff matchup, but that a bad one there.
Yeah, you definitely want to rattle and shake up the other quarterback, but you know you've got to do it the right way. Otherwise, that clock's going to be on the ground.
Walker, touchdown. And on a stage of this magnitude, the conference championship, so many early game jitters can happen, so that scores a big relief to a coach.
Yeah, no one wants to mention that in the locker room before the game. No one says, hey, listen, don't fumble or don't do this because you don't want negative thoughts. That's why getting off to a good start is so huge for everyone. The first score in the conference title game, massive.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive linemen. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. Touchdown, Detroit. Jonathan Taylor, 49 yards. And the Lions are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Point after try forthcoming. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 13 yards, and it keeps the drive moving.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the move to his left. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Touchdown, Detroit!
Jamison Williams,
39 yards.
and the Lions have moved out in front.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Now for the point after. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Now the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll need to come from behind if they want to play in 2 weeks as they trail early in this NFC Championship game. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And this is good for a first down, his second grab of this NFC Championship bout.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Touchdown! A big play there. 58 yards. And the Explorers have cut it back within a score.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They go play action now. Jackson rolling to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Throwing is Jackson. That pass caught. It's Williams. Finding room at midfield. Loose inside the 30. Touchdown. Jamison Williams. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at a big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
Extra point forthcoming. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. They'll look to throw. Finding Walker complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll set up a throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Mullins. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And 3rd and 1 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Brandon, 4th and 1 on their own side of the 50, and they decide to go for it. As a former defender, I take that personally. I can't believe they let them pick that up. They should have swarmed the line of scrimmage and stuffed that one.
Not surprised, though, because they told us about the supreme confidence they had in the O-line, and they were able to get that yard. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Walker.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
Going up top. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker. And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
He's got room past the 30. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
On second down, a run with Hall. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
First and 10, Taylor now. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's third and 16. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. On the move past the 40. Now he's loose down the left sideline. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here's Jackson to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Lions continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. The extra point up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. From the 10. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
He completes it to Olave. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll throw now on the final play. They'll roll him out right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge.
The throw took him a little too far at second down. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And I think here with the lead, CD, they have to resist that temptation of kind of looking ahead. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree, because they know the stakes. They know the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. And this one, it's far from over. They were the better team in the first half, but they do know that they're facing their toughest opponent of the year. And they've got to be prepared for them to fight it out all the way and add a few extra wrinkles in the second half as well. They need to stay on guard.
Play action. It's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And I think the ball's out.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Following the fumble recovery, Jackson. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's got room at the 30.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Lamar Jackson. his second touchdown of the night, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And some room to maneuver. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 68 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. So their move is to decline that so they don't get another second down. It'll be third.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their third down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's their sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on third down.
Flush to his right. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for two, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Back to throw now on first down.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
After the interception, here's Jackson, escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
No question, that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
And this one is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Got a man complete. It's Taylor. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now it's Jackson.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And Jackson throwing once more. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Micah Parsons,
the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
So it's third and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
He's going to have the first down and more than that.
And in for the Lions touchdown. A great play there. 27 yards.
And the Lions get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
So the Lion offense staying on the field as they're going to try for two. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone.
And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. One quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be third and a mile. Over the middle, complete. It's Walker. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a fourth down. And whistle blown, a timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Ready, 45, white.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted.
Picked off by Pat Surtain.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown.
Jamar Chase,
74 yards. And the Lions are closing in on a Super Bowl berth now as they extend their fourth quarter lead. Well, something about this team, you just felt like they were one of destiny all season long, and they've made themselves today, as you can see, the class of the NFC.
Yeah, and it's starting to look more and more like the Super Bowl trip is very much in their future.
And the fans starting to book those tickets. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. It's caught inside the 10. And that one goes virtually nowhere. Tried to fake extra point, but nothing comes of it. To give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bull his way in there for the 2 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's caught. Touchdown.
Chris Olave.
37 yards.
And the Explorers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, did the kicking team get it? Yes. The onside kick works like a charm. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Lions are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Jackson now. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up fourth down now.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Here comes the Lions punter now. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker.
And he'll get it inside the 35.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw here. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Chase Young able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 15.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. And this play comes to a hold at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down.
9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Here we go. Blue 32.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. Wait a second. That's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all, because you want that penalty. All right, they just picked up a 1st down, right? You want the penalty.
I am so confused right now. Oh, design run for their wideout. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
Play action. Now Jackson. He's got a man complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Point after here coming up. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting to slip away if it hasn't already. There he goes, right side. And a huge play that time. 61 yards.
I can still hear it reverberate through this thick skull of mine. Crossing routes versus man-to-man coverage, it's a bad matchup for the defense. Those tend to work very well as they run away from a defender.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Here's Walker.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown.
Kenneth Walker with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Explorers are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And this is scooped up by the Lions.
Well, that 2-point attempt failed due to the fumble, but people can't see this, but you've got a ball in your hands now, and you've got the thing locked in pretty well. You've got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. Makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you had run that play, you would not have fumbled. I can tell you that.
Maybe. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Now Jackson on 1st down.
And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. He'll get it inside the 20.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it.
And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things through this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised them there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Wide open receiver complete.
Down the left sideline. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll give it up to the big man Walker. And he will take this one in for a touchdown.
Ken Walker
saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game.
And the Explorers are able to at least get one score back.
They'll try and throw for it. And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick.
And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find it.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Had some good yardage there, too, before he fumbled that football, Charles.
Yeah, just think about it this way. Running backs, as a general rule, they kind of know when the end of a run is near, and you notice how they cover up, right? They protect the football. Sometimes quarterbacks forget that out in the open field. After a while, you start to wonder, does the running back coach visit the quarterback coach and say, hey, I can help you with...
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a first down, and he gives himself up there at the end.
Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Now a first carry for their fullback.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
And what a ride it has been. NFC champs, they have punched their ticket to the biggest show in sports.
And what a way to get there, to go the entire season and then play for the right to go to the Super Bowl and the right to call themselves NFC champs. Elation has to abound.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks from the Super Bowl.